Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, State Senator Roberta Lange, she's the Assistant Majority Leader, and Dan Stewart, President of Development for the Nevada Gardner Group, here for the whole show on all new Nevada Newsmakers.
When in Carson City, Nevada Newsmakers records in the conference room of the Nevada Builders Alliance. Coverage of the 2025 legislative session is brought to you by Pro Group Management, Workers' Comp that works for you. NV Energy, proudly serving Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. The Retail Association of Nevada, looking out for business. And by Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
We don't have a choice where we go to school, even if it's unsafe or we're being bullied. It's not fair. Every family should be able to choose the school that is best for us, not just the families who have a lot of money. Governor Lombardo wants to give every kid and every family the ability to go to a school where we can learn and where we're safe. He's fighting for us. Thank you, Governor Lombardo.
All hail the $200,000 Cash is King giveaways at Carson Valley Inn. Weekly prize drawings including thousands in cash and free play. And 2 big grand prize giveaway events, each with a $15,000 cash winner guaranteed. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from Carson City. We're at the home of the Nevada Builders Alliance, and we're taping this on the morning of May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. And we're delighted to be joined back on the program, State Senator Roberta Lange. She is the Assistant Majority Leader, and Dan Stewart is President of Development for Nevada Gardner Group. And we'll get into what you do in just a couple of minutes, but I wanted to start out with you, Senator, first, and talk about your thoughts on the Economic Forum. Looks like we're about $350 million light with money available for this session. Your thoughts?
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is news that we didn't want to expect, but we sort of did. And I think as the budget, we've been in the budget process since the beginning of the session. We have not expanded anything. We've stayed with status quo. It's not a good situation for our state. It affects education. It affects healthcare. It affects really being able to build up our state more. Last session, we had the luxury, I will say, of being able to give money to nonprofits and give money to important programs in our state. And this year we aren't going to have that luxury. And, and I think with the economic downturn, coupled by the fact that the administration in Washington is making severe cuts, that it's going to compound itself, and we're going to have to make some really tough decisions.
One of the things that's been interesting to me so far, and the president taped an interview last Friday that aired on Meet the Press yesterday, where he said Medicaid not going to get cut, that they're still looking for fraud, waste, which is what everybody always talks about, but in terms of cutting it, so potentially that's one that might be off the table. But there's been discussion over the weekend about tapping into the rainy day fund to make up for some of this revenue. Are you in favor of that, or should we be waiting for another 2008 type situation or a COVID situation before we tap that money?
Good question. I think we have to look at the rainy day fund. It has more money than it's had ever.
Record.
And I think we need to, that's what rainy day fund is for. When we have a situation in our state that we can't fix, having that fund available and being able to use it is really important. And we'll get into this later, but this is the exact reason why this film bill is so important.
Yes, I don't disagree with your line of logic there. You know, in the last session, $2,250 million was put into education. Is it a good time to let that money ride and see the results? Because that's really not that much time, 2 years, to see the effects of that amount of money going into education. Now, I know the teachers union wouldn't be happy to hear me say that, but at the same time, that was a lot of money poured into education. How would you feel about that?
We have to keep that money in education.
Oh yeah, but I mean, saying they were looking for another increase this session.
Well, that's going to be really hard to do when everybody's cutting, you know, or staying status quo. It's going to be really hard to add even more. I want to add more. I'm a former educator, so you know, I understand the importance of needing to enhance education. I've talked to educators. They say that money was so important to them. It helped morale. It helped fund programs that were important. You know, we have to look at ways that we can fund education, fully fund education. I know we think we do, but compared to other states, we are way behind.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and then we'll talk about something that involves Dan as well, which is the movie studio bill, which we've all been talking about here all session. Let's take a break, actually for the last couple of sessions. We'll be right back after this timeout.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the air conditioning back on today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why sweat for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your air conditioning fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain, moving 95% of our freight in the Silver State. And while essential, the road isn't always smooth. Supply chain disruptions, rising fuel costs, and unrealistic rules and laws that hamper our ability to serve our customers and country. Our prosperity and every sector of the economy, manufacturing, mining, medicine, and food from farm to table, is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up to date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with State Senator Roberta Lange. She's the Assistant Majority Leader, and Dan Stewart, President of Development for Nevada Gardner Group, who are the master contractor for the UNLV Harry Reid Research and Technology Park. So you have Senate Bill 220, and this is one of the two bills that are regarding potential movie studios for Southern Nevada. There was also talk at one point about potentially including Northern Nevada in that. Has that gone away at this point?
So the answer is no. There will be something in my bill for Northern Nevada, but it's primarily a Southern Nevada economic development. I think Northern Nevada has Tesla, and that has helped their economic development. We need something like that for Southern Nevada, and so it's a Southern Nevada economic development bill. And you want me to?
Keep going.
Oh, okay.
I'm so glad you're here.
To say.
Oh, please, please. The floor is yours.
I think when we look at where we are as a state today, and people say to me, well, we got a bad economic forecast. How can we do a film bill? And I said, this is just the time that you need to do a film bill, because we had COVID, we had a recession, and every time our state gets in trouble, we have to cut programs or put programs on hold or not fund something. And what the film bill will do is create a revenue source, a new revenue source for Nevada to be able to fund the things that we need to fund. Not to mention, in my bill, we are not only doing film, we're doing CTI, creative technology, and where we'll have medical research, gaming production, lots of different things. But this bill, my bill, focuses on workforce development. So we have the highest unemployment in the nation, and we have got to put people back to work. And so my bill, the pillar of my bill is education. We are partnering with all of the INCHE institutions, and we will do workforce development. Students will be able to go there to the campus for 2 years of training. CSN already has a film training program, and this will just enhance what they're doing. And people don't know it. They've won like 26 Emmys. It's pretty amazing. And then what will we do for the North? Well, Trucking Meadows is already doing some film stuff. We want to enhance their training. We want to help UNR in their film school. So it's about the whole state. And at the end of the 18 years that we're asking for the film credits, we will have put in $1 billion into education and workforce development. And that money isn't coming out of the state. It's coming out of revenues. When somebody wants to do a film, 10% goes in. They give 10% to the education fund. And so it's always going, it's always happening. And I think it's a full circle, and we have looked at every avenue and ways that we can not only provide more revenue from the state for the state, because we're on public land. This is a public land project. It'll give more money to the state. And so, for me, I see the possibilities.
All right, and we'll come back to some of these topics here in a moment. But let's move to you, Dan.
Sure.
So your company, Nevada Gardner Group, that you represent, and you're also a Henderson City Councilman, which I just found out. So,
yes.
beautiful place that you live in.
Yes.
The Harry Reid Park is what, 2,000 acres?
No, the one there at Sunset and Durango, UNLV Harry Research and Technology Park is probably about 120 acres.
Oh, okay.
Yes. There's 2,000. There's 2,000 acres up adjacent to North Las Vegas, north of the valley, that has been designated and set aside for higher education, Nishi, UNLV, and that sort of thing. So maybe that's where you got. Yeah.
All right. So what kind of development do you see in terms of construction and a timeline for construction if this bill were to go through and be approved?
Good question. First off, I want to thank you for having me here.
Oh, you are very welcome.
And it's an honor to be here with Senator Lange. I know she's worked long and tirelessly, 5 years on this bill, and it's so important to the state. In terms of development at the tech park, just brief history. Gardner Group was selected back in 2016 to be through a rigorous RFP program to be the master developer of the UNLV Tech Park as a private company and private partnership with UNLV Research Foundation. And so over the years, we've built the Blackfire building. And,
which is amazing, by the way.
It is amazing. It's just such a wonderful building, such a wonderful place to gather and look at new technology and gaming and all of that. So that's been a success. We also built the T-Mobile building, which we own, manage, and operate, and pay UNLV Research Foundation ground lease for the property each year for the property we're sitting on. So that's the way that not only do we bring these technologies to Southern Nevada at the UNLV Tech Park, it also produces a revenue stream for UNLV Research Foundation to then be able to reapply that money into finding new technologies, aerospace, medicine, whatever it might be, to bring to the tech park, in which we, as we all know, would enhance and, more importantly, diversify our economy.
Okay, so what kind of cost would it take to build the movie studios are talking to you about?
All in current dollars, about $450 million.
And what kind of workforce would that require?
Huge. Varies numbers, but 7,000 to 8,000 workers, construction workers, and then obviously the film studios, just a myriad of employment opportunities for folks in Southern Nevada. But more importantly, I'm sorry to, I'm pretty passionate. That's why I'm so honored to be here with Senator Lange. I'm pretty passionate about education. That's been kind of my focal point my whole life, because I've seen what it did to my family, starting with my father, and it just really has been a passion of mine. And so this is, to me, an education, workforce development, and economy diversification bill. The film studios are just a vehicle for us to get there. I think that's an important fact.
But it's also made it more appealing by having this huge education component, because that really wasn't the thrust of this at the very beginning. All right, so here's a basic question.
Okay.
8,000 workers, where are you going to put them?
Oh, that's during the construction.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I know, but where are they going to live?
Where they live now. That's just normal construction.
So you've got the ability, because we've done a lot of programs on this show talking about developing younger kids from middle school on up to get into the construction business. You've got these massive projects coming on board.
Yep.
The 100 acres for the Brightline Station, potential of 2 more arenas or stadiums in Southern Nevada. Will you have the workforce, or are you going to have to import the workforce? Because that is a very flexible thing.
It is.
Construction workforces go to where the work is.
That's right.
But that comes back to my question. If you have 8,000 people that you have to import,
I don't think we need to import them.
Okay.
I think,
all right.
I think we have the synergism and the critical mass of workforce that we need, construction workers. My background is construction, family business, so I'm pretty familiar with construction. And we have fabulous contractors. This is a union-built project, so obviously the union.
Prevailing wage would be.
Yep, because it's public land, public money on public land, very important. And so the workforce, the construction workforce is there. Obviously, what it does is build a platform that now we start educating the future workforce for filmmaking, for video game publication, for aerospace, medicine, and those kind of things that we're just scratching the surface on right now.
Okay, so Senator, is it becoming something different that the film studio part of it is shrinking a little bit, and all these other education things are becoming the bigger part?
I think it's enhanced. And but let me go back really quickly and talk about the workforce, because we having the highest unemployment in our state, part of that is the workers, the builders, the union people, and we will be putting those people back to work, which will reduce the reliance on Medicaid and will help in that arena as well. We've got to get our labor people back to work, and this will get them back to work. And what was your question again?
No. Well, I was just going to move on and just say that, for example, in Northern Nevada, it seems like every trade is desperate for workers. I mean, everything from HVAC to all these data centers that they're building here in Northern Nevada, and everybody is just dying to get more workers. So, when you talk about the unemployment, and that's another thing that's kind of an interesting topic on it. We don't have time to get into it in detail today, but automation has become a big player in, I believe, boosting the unemployment numbers in this state, because it's not that there isn't lots of positions, it's just that a lot of those positions have gone away.
But then we have to find other other avenues to be able to train people, and that's why the workforce development in this bill is so important, because we are retraining people to do the jobs of the future. And we have expanded our bill to include CTI because we want to make sure that every dollar that's invested in our program, we're going to return $1.03 to the state. So it's a win-win for the state and the film industry and CTI. And so we've worked really hard to do that, because you can't, it's very difficult to ask the state to invest in something when you give 20, 30, 40 cents on the dollar back to the state. I mean, it just doesn't make financial sense. And so we wanted to broaden that so that we could bring those in other industries to the state, and they interact with film as well. And I think, having that dollar for dollar is really important.
All right, let's take another break. We'll come right back. As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org. Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. Our community is our foundation. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Your good times are at Tamarack Casino during the $150,000 Denim and Diamonds giveaways, with cash and free play drawings every Thursday and Saturday, and $30,000 in grand finale giveaways Saturday, May 31st, including a top prize of $20,000 guaranteed. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with State Senator Roberta Lange. She's the Assistant Majority Leader, and Dan Stewart, President of Development for the Nevada Gardner Group. We're talking movie studios. So we're running short on time, but I just wanted to bring up, there is a competing bill for Summerlin that your colleague, Sandra Howergy, in the Assembly is putting forward. Is there any coming together to be able to make this one thing?
Well, it's interesting because in the last...
It is very interesting.
In the last session, I had Senate Bill 496, which had everybody together. And then in the interim, they decided they wanted to go off on their own, right? And so I've had lots of conversations with them, with Warner Brothers, with others about bringing the bill together. This bill is only going to go forward if we can bring them together. And, you know, we just can't have to. The state can't afford it. It's not good for what we're trying to do, and we have to get to one bill. The majority leader told me early on before the session started, we have to get to one bill or they're going to die. So that's pretty stark, but that's what we have to do.
And that's before the Economic Forum numbers came out.
Before.
There is such huge competition from state to state. New York had a big article about their film industry over the weekend. And you look at the numbers coming out of Georgia, where they put in massive amounts of money, but they don't get a huge return. Is the education portion the big difference here between what we're doing or trying to do and what other states are doing?
I think the education is huge. It's the pillar of my bill, but also the CTI, bringing in those other industries that will only enhance and get us to that dollar for dollar, which is so important to me.
And that's where we have to leave it. It's going to be fascinating to watch this play out. And I understand what you're saying. If the majority says these two bills have got to come together, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. And we've got right about a month left to go.
I ask all the time.
I'm sure you do. Thank you both for doing this. I really appreciate it. And we'll be right back.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
When in Carson City, Nevada Newsmakers records in the conference room of the Nevada Builders Alliance. Coverage of the 2025 legislative session is brought to you by Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you. NV Energy, proudly serving Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. The Retail Association of Nevada, looking out for business. And by Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers come to you from Carson City, from the headquarters of the Nevada Builders Alliance. We'll see you on the next broadcast. Thanks for watching.